Thank you very much. I hope another few decades, in fact. It's a great pleasure to be here at what for me is my third IATEFL in Hungary. Speaking to some of you in this room, I'm, we have to admit, a late entrant into the, this great occasions that happen every year. 3 is not that many when we got people in this room who've been maybe 20, 21, all 21 perhaps. So it was gratifying also to find out yesterday afternoon that there were 1 or 2 people in this room who's having their first ELT conference. So I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you, Yuzha, for making sure the weather this morning is at its best. Those of you who went on the boat trip yesterday evening, I think we were very lucky to get it dried out, didn't it? So that was also enjoyable. These ELT conferences bring together a group of very passionate people. I think it has to be said that everybody involved in English language teaching, particularly at what might be considered a difficult time in our lives, economically, whatever. Demographically, I was told this morning that in Hungary there are less children going into secondary schools, therefore less need for teachers, and so there's more competition going on in, for example, the English language field. So it's not an easy time, but we bring a lot of passion to what we do, and I think also really at the heart of what we're doing is being looked at in this particular conference, a conference which is looking at, amongst other things, the role of the teacher and what the role of the teacher can bring to the whole process of learning. Anyway, I've got the warm-up act. So I'd just like to, and as people walk in, I'd like to have a little test with you. A short quiz. There are always quizzes at IATEFL conferences. I see there's a prize draw quiz which is limited to Hungarian teachers, so I'm not allowed to take part in that one. But everybody here is allowed to take part in mine. It's 4 questions, and it determines how professional you really are, or how professional we really are. So the 4 questions to establish our professionalisation. Let's have a go. And in the spirit of yesterday afternoon, please just shout out what you think the answers are. First question. How do you put a giraffe into a refrigerator? Ah, I think we have the correct answer. Very clever people, which is just as well. Is that indeed you open the door and put the giraffe in and you close the door. Okay, so you got the correct answer, 1 or 2 of you. Second question. Well, before we go on to the second question, the first question really is to test how well we use simple things, we do simple things for what might be complicated actions. Sometimes we get very complicated in what we do. Second question. How do you put an elephant into a refrigerator? You're going to break the statistic at this rate. So, first of all, open the door, take the giraffe out, put the elephant in, close the door. That tests our ability to think through the repercussions of our actions. Some of you are doing very well. Third question. The Lion King is holding an animal conference for all animals. They all must attend. One of them doesn't. Who? Which? Pardon? The elephant, because the elephant is in the refrigerator. So that, you're very good because that has tested your memory. Right. For those of you who've been a bit silent and who are having difficulty, you've got 1 more chance. The 4th and last question. There is a river you must cross. It is inhabited by crocodiles. What do you do?
You cross it, everyone's at the conference on the bridge.
Thank you. You cross it because everybody's at the conference, so the crocodiles are not there. Right, now, did anybody get them all right? Not bad over here. That last one really does test whether you learn quickly from your mistakes. If you didn't get them all right, don't worry, because in fact there was research done by Anderson Consulting Worldwide, and that research showed that 90% of professionals got all the questions wrong. But at the same time, that many preschool children got several correct answers. Because you're English language teachers, you're in a special category of your own. This brings me really to what I want to say, is that many times during this particular conference, we're looking at maybe how we can ensure children and students conserve and develop the abilities that they may already have and the confidence that they may already have, and develop those further as adults, and that they feel empowered. What is the teacher's role in this process? And in the sense that's been at the very hub of what you were talking about yesterday afternoon and what you're talking about today. One teacher in Japan, Stephen Schrader, has discussed, I think very interestingly, how TESOL, how the teaching of English as a second other language, how TESOL can be used particularly as a means of empowering the disadvantaged. However, I think what he says can be relevant to all of us, all learners. He sets out a simple ABC of learner empowerment, an ABC framework, in which A stands for audience, knowing what it is, not being afraid of it. A can also stand for ability and articulation, developing a language, when you are articulate, developing a language to say what you want to say. A also stands for attitude, having the right attitude, and so developing the desire to communicate. There are other A's. B, for example, stands for belief. Belief that what you say is something important. Belief in yourself. C is about having a chance. Giving the students a chance to speak. Giving the students the opportunity to work in a safe community, C for community, where people can cooperate and value each other. And the article really is going through the ABC, and in this conference I'm sure you'll get as far as Z. What are some of those skills, what are some of the tools which will help empower students of all ages to give them the confidence to develop their own skills as they move through life. And I think the great beauty of this conference is that over these 3 days there are going to be so many different opportunities where we can share these experiences, share these ABCs, build up the ABC vocabulary. I'd just like to say thank you once again to the organisers, thank you to Zhuzha, thank you for the marvellous, I think this is absolutely great venue that we have this year. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, enjoy the pedagogical ideas and sharing, enjoy the plenaries, and enjoy, of course, the social interaction in the evenings and the quizzes that you're going to have for the rest of the day and the rest of the conference. Thanks very much again.